What's going on, guys? It's GBP baby. Welcome back to another video. I hope everybody's doing well. And yeah, not the strongest start to the week that I anticipated. If you watched yesterday's video, you'll know this is not what I was expecting. But nonetheless, I'm not really surprised, especially considering it's non-farm payroll week. Like times like this, probability is down the drain. Honestly, I've been taking a look at these charts and they're just a state to me. When things don't go to what I'm expecting, if you watch yesterday's video, I wanted to see this level get respected. If these things don't get respected, generally, I don't really want to be trading or forcing it, especially on weeks like these. So this video will probably be quite quick. In terms of what I'm anticipating, well, you can see how much gapping has been going on recently, such as here, such as here, such as here, such as here, such as here. All of this gapping is driving me insane. It's giving me a level of anxiety. It's like, well, it's very difficult for me to be confident in any kind of necessary movement. But nonetheless, we keep on stepping. In terms of what I want to see, it's still in line with what I drew our attention to yesterday. So this bullish order block over here, I'd like to think that price might be able to start working its way down towards that. And then today, what we witnessed is we traded into a weekly bearish order block. So we traded up into that. This is the open of it right here. And you can see our price has just come off of it, quite interestingly. So it'll be nice to see if that acts as a bearish order block. And if it does, then we can expect a down close day tomorrow. That would mean that the very highest I'd want to see price trade on dollar would be the 25% level or 50% level of this wick. So let's get that delineated. And then any higher than that, and I'm not getting involved. Now, it's kind of me forcing my will on the market in terms of wanting it to see, in terms of wanting to see it trade lower. So I do need to be a little bit careful in that sense. But we have the 50% level and the 25% level. Let me make sure these are relatively level. Excuse me. Also, no video tomorrow night, guys. I'm gonna be away, but nonetheless, let's get this smart towel. We'll make this blue. We'll make this red dashed, blue dashed. And remember, this is that weekly bearish order block. So we've traded into that now, and we also have a fair value gap right here that we're below. And you see how this lines up with the 25% level? As far as I'm concerned, well, I say this all the time, but I don't really want to, ideally I don't want to see price trade into that. Again, if we're to remain bearish, we do have a little bit of displacement to the downside here, so it'd be nice to see if we can see a continuation lower. And then generally speaking, I'm just looking for these lows to start getting traded towards. And remember that weekly or daily bullish order block that I delineated here. So my bias remains the same, even though we rallied at the beginning of the week. It's not the end of the world. It is a little bit annoying that we rallied above my expectation, but my bias hasn't changed in that I'd like to still think that price can expand lower. If anything, if we're going to have a down close week, this rally is anticipated in that we should expect price to trade on higher and then for us to start targeting lower prices after. So let me just split this, get the daily dividers up. We'll go from Sunday, and then we have Monday midnight, and then we want to get Tuesday and Wednesday. And then if we mark out that Sunday opening, you'll see how we haven't even traded below it yet. So the fact that we're still above it means that we can still use the Sunday opening as a target. So I'll be paying very close attention to that. And again, as I was saying, as far as I'm concerned, price shouldn't need to rally up here again. So let's get rid of a few things. This has been traded to. Let's make that grey. Why am I making it grey? Because we've traded to it. As far as I'm concerned, we're done up there. This is that fair value gap from the daily. So ideally, price shouldn't need to go back above there. And then this is that 25% level off the daily wick, weekly wick, was it? So we have some levels now that we want to see get respected. And if they get violated, then we know that we're on the wrong side. So let's go to the 15-minute. And you'll see how we're kind of just consolidating. I do like this displacement below this low, because that makes this a breaker. High, low, higher high displacement. So again, this whole range, we're looking for price to ideally remain within it and then start to move on lower. So I'll be paying close attention to that. And then we have some nice relative equal lows below here as well that I'd like to see get traded to moving into Tuesday. So yeah, that's pretty much all my expectations. But generally speaking, keep an eye on this Sunday opening. I'm looking for price to start targeting it and moving its way, making its way towards it. This rally is fine. It's just it did overshoot where we originally anticipated. So with that, let's move on to GBP USD, and you'll see similarly we overshot where was delineated, and you can see we traded much lower than I anticipated. So we did actually fill this fair value gap in, which is quite interesting, and you can see our prices come off of it. So as far as I'm concerned, again, this should now act as a bullish fair value gap because we traded into it, we've left it. Ideally, that 50% level off it should act bullishly if we're going to trade into it again. And then we're looking for some kind of up close if we're expecting dollar to be able to turn around. It's a little bit hopeful in these conditions, but nonetheless, we'll keep it stepping. So let's get rid of this just to clear up the charts a little bit and drop down to the 4 hour and see what we can find. And you can see how we filled that fair value gap in beautifully, and look at how volume is still respecting the fair value gap at the top of it. So we do have a rejection block level now right here, so I'm happy for price to drop down below here. Let me just get it delineated. So this is a rejection block level, so I'm happy for price to come down below there, but again, I'm looking for that 50% level, which I've pretty much already got delineated, to be respected. So as soon as price dips down there, if it does tomorrow, I'd be looking ideally for longs, with my stop loss at the 50% level, because price shouldn't need to go any more above there, any more lower than that. And then I'm looking to start trading up into our premium PD arrays, which I drew our attention to yesterday, such as this. It's a daily fair value gap. We've got a daily fair value gap there, and I don't even know what this is. Wow, the top of this fair value gap. So it'll be interesting to see if that can be done. But yeah, really not much more to say. But similarly, we can draw out the days. So let's get Sunday delineated, and then Monday delineated, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Tuesday, right, cool. Excuse me, gosh me. And then we mark out this, and this is our Sunday opening. And again, we haven't traded above it yet, so there's still going to be a reason for price to want to draw up there. We're just waiting for the right setup to form that will allow us for that. Again, rejection block level here. As far as I'm concerned, price shouldn't need to drop any lower than this now. It might do it, and it can do it, but ideally it doesn't. That will show a nice level of support, and then I'll be comfortable looking for longs, running into where? Into that Monday high as a daily target. But again, easier said than done, especially on weeks like these. But I do like the fact that we came down. There's stops below here, below this low. This is where Southside liquidity is residing. Look how price came down and dragged that. And if we're bullish on the higher time frame, as in we're expecting price to draw up there anyway, then this is completely fine. This is just a run on stops. And to even add to that, let's say that we're from this move here all the way up to here, which is the top of the fair value gap, this is the 50% level. At 50% levels of ranges, we expect to run on stops anyway. So this could still be supportive of our expansion into this range up here. If this plays out nicely on Wednesday's video, I will talk about it, because it does look like we have a market maker buy model here, and I'll talk about it if it plays out. Because I can talk about that 50% level, but again, weeks like these, there's only so much we can do. Let's go to the 15 minutes, see if there's anything. Not really much, but again, a lot of consolidation. But generally speaking, I want to see continued support, continued sponsorship. I want to see this high get violated. That would be a nice change in the state of delivery, and then we'll be able to run for this buy side liquidity and these beautiful relative equal highs above here, where I can see there's liquidity residing. Now, I'm not saying this is all going to happen on Tuesday necessarily. We might consolidate all day Tuesday, and it might not happen till Wednesday, which is completely fine. But what I'm saying, what I don't want to see is us violating this 50% level. And then that Sunday opening is also very important to us. So yeah. And then let's finish up on Euro USD. Euro went totally off the charts in terms of what I was expecting, so I'm just going to clear them completely. Let's go to the daily. And same thing, if we're expecting, we want to try and see if we can get some up closing going on, but you can see how Euro is significantly weak right now. And it feels right to be going short, because you can see it's dropping. But after seeing last week's price action, And looking at how much consolidation is here, I wouldn't be surprised if I struggle to get through this. Euro's a bit of a mess right now. You know what? Usually it's pound that's the mess, but right now euro is really playing up, and I'm not liking it at all. But we do have I am looking at this as a breaker, low, high, low, low. So I've just dragged that out. Look at the consolidation, and we've just came out of that. So again, moving into tomorrow with euro, I'll be watching this range. Can we respect that 50% level? Because if we can, then there's reason for us to expect these highs to get taken. If we can't, then there's a reason for us to expect us to keep running and run into this outside liquidity. It's as simple as that. But yeah, I'm looking for that reversal. I'm looking for that reversal to the upside, ideally. But non-farm payroll weeks and December in general isn't the best. So yeah, it's pay close attention. We do have a breaker here, low, high, lower, low. If we go to the 5 minute, it'll be a lot more clear. This last up close candle, we could drag that out. So as far as I'm concerned, we can just watch how. It seems like we're on our way down there now, but I won't talk too much. But we can see how price acts once it gets there. Because if we get down to this and we start finding reversal and price starts to leave it, then we know where it's heading to, and we can get in on some nice positions. But it has to respect it, and obviously in line with that, dollar has to respect its premium PD arrays, which I spoke about being up here, as in needs to respect this range for us to be able to understand and allow dollar to to trade lower. So yeah, bit of an interesting one, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, drop a comment, smash subscribe, join the mailing list. I'm not actually going to suggest you go watch yesterday's video, you know. I mean, you can, but I mean, how with context. But generally speaking, this should be enough of what I'm anticipating. And obviously, as soon as one of these gets violated, so let's say we do tomorrow trade through this, I'm expecting if we trade through this, then we're running up here and into these highs. But generally speaking, I don't really want to see that, especially the way we swept this buy side liquidity today and how quickly we've done it. I want to see more downwards price action moving towards Friday, and then we can start thinking about where price might want to expand to. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Drop a like, drop a comment, smash subscribe, join the mailing list, join the Discord, and I'll catch you on Wednesday. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.